Good evening, all. This is ImPossible conversation with Arnold Buren. He has an IT background and has traveled to US to learn from many famous coaches and mentors. And he came back to UK and set up his own company to help people to overcome difficulties and build a successful business. So I'm going to interview Arnold today about his business and how he helps people. And let's bring Arnold to the screen now. Hi Martha, hi Shri.
Good evening.
Good evening, Arnold. How are
Good
you
evening.
today?
Not bad, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm very
Technology.
well, thank you. Yes, I couldn't, yeah, there was just a little bit technical difficulties, so it's all sorted now.
Yes.
So hopefully we are on track now.
We are live. We are live.
We are live, exactly. So could you tell us a bit more about yourself? Hi, Rebecca. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody. Yes, well, I'm Ernold van Bueren, and I'm a business coach or business growth mindset strategist. I do this already for like 11 years. And yeah, I've traveled around to get some more experience. And when I moved to the UK, I've helped quite a lot of people to change their mindset. And yes, I'm now with you in an interview. So here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, thank you for that. That's the life coach, and is it quite new to UK? What do you think? Since how popular is it? And
Well, in the days, I'm talking about around about 2010, 11, when I started, let's say years before, the whole life coach industry was not got a totally different I say it, a totally different name. So you had for example, a business development or a mindset strategist. So the whole life coaching industry actually started, let's say, from 2015, 16, and as you already see, it's literally growing and growing. And to be honest, there's loads of life coaches on different let's say, so you got like a life coach for business now, really popular niche, and a lot of life coaches for, let's say, health, so fitness and for diets and everything. So the whole life coach industry in that time was a totally different ball game. So when you go to customers, when you tell them you are a life coach or a coach, they were like, are you playing football? So yes, the title life coach became more popular, and now these days when you mention a life coach, they have a better and more understanding of how things are these days. So yes, and back in the days, I was a mindset strategist. That's what they call it.
yeah, so now it's called life coach.
Yes.
So could you tell us about more? What's it involved, and how do you reach people's mindset, and how, in what way are you able to change and help them to achieve more?
Yes. So let's say like 2011. No, let's start more backwards. So let's say from 2008. So when the economy was a little bit unstable, people were actually losing jobs. The bank was more cautious with lending money, and people got a little bit lost. So after, let's say, a period from 2010, 2011, it was quite complicated. Well, at least we were all, let's say, we just go to go every morning. We just go to work, and we start our routine, and then you lost your job, gone. And there was, let's say now these days, these times are coming back. So it's still difficult to, well, if you want to, if you need a job, get yourself mentally prepared. And at the moment, I have to say, we are getting like a life coach, or let's say people with a lot of experience are being needed in the world, because the world is changing. We are more reliable on technology, and because of the technology, we are not needed because, well, let's human labor is more, how to say, is well, it's being replaced. And yeah, for some of them, if you're ready, let's say, for example, Marks and Spencer's at the moment, if you work 20, 30 years for that company and then you get a letter, yeah, sorry, we're going to close the branch. Well, if you're 50 years old, or let's say older than, or maybe younger, or you just start your career, it's literally, you're gonna have a little bit of a down in your life, and this is where we are there to support them and give them well, and help them to literally guide them in the direction they have to go. Because of the experience I got, for example, I've been in these situations before. When I lost my job in 2007, I was an IT guy, and the IT guy lost his job. Nobody told me about setting up a business or doing something else. No, I went to university, got my first job, and then I lost it. So nobody was there to guide me. And this is where literally the whole my career, or let's say my whole journey started. So yes, we have helped a lot of people, helping growing and think differently with changing the mindset of limitation. So give them more options. So yeah, we're getting there, but life coaches are more needed. So with the, let's say, 500,000 we got at the moment, well, we have to cover the whole world. So this is
Yeah,
a right call. Absolutely.
exactly. Could you tell me more about what area you are more specialized, or do you do general life coaching, or are you specialized more business, or
Well,
is there, because there are lots of many different way you could go in the life coaching, is that
yes,
right?
that's correct. It depends a little bit of the experience, but me, for example, I focus more on business and on personal growth. So I can help somebody who wants to have a career in a 9 to 5 career, or I can help or can support somebody with who wants to, well, an entrepreneur who wants to grow a business. So I have my let's say my direction is more the 9 to 5 or the business. So I got both, but sometimes, yeah, you get, I said, you get clients who are, let's say, need a little bit of a different guidance than only helping out with the business or with their, let's say, their 9 to 5. And of course, after a lot of training and after a lot of experience, you can share. But as a life coach, or let's say as a mindset strategist, you sometimes have to say no. So if you can't support them, yeah, I always say be honest, because in the end of the day, you're just going to guide them in a different direction, or you just guide them a new part of life. And if you can't help them, be honest and tell them like, okay, I can't do it. And yes, I have turned down a couple of clients to say like, sorry, I can only guide you through this and this and this, and I can't help you with, for example, when you go through a divorce, for example, then yeah, unfortunately, I can't help you. And yeah, so in the whole, or let's say, the whole focus is for me the personal growth and the business growth.
Business growth and personal growth.
Yes.
Okay, that's really interesting. And does it, do them two go together?
Yes, because if you change your mindset in your personal growth, that will automatically go to the business growth. So, for example, if you want to change from a 9 to 5 situation to, an, let's say, start a company, you need to be prepared as a person to make a different move. Because a 9 to 5 situation, you go to your work, you just do your thing, and then afterwards you go back home. Every end of the month, you get your salary, and that's it. And then you got some training at work. So what you literally do is you prepare yourself mentally for the company you work for. But if you want to work for another, let's say you want to, you are an entrepreneur, you want to start a company, that's a different bold game. So as if you're not prepared personally, then it's difficult to go to the business route. So if you prepare yourself as let's say prepare yourself to start a company, that's that's not 9 to 5. So you work sometimes 60, 70 hours a week, and
Yes.
there's no HR where you can go to. So you have to prepare, or you have to find somebody who can do your HR, do your
Yeah.
invoices, find an accountant. So mentally, you have a totally different mindset. You have more like a more active mindset than, for example, if you work for an employer. But both, they are, let's say, there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. The only thing is that if you're going to start up a business, it's a different, and you have to be more active to achieve
Right.
your goals, for
Okay.
example. Yeah.
Because I've read a Napoleon Hill book, and it said that when you work 9 to 5, that means you get paid by hour you work,
Yes,
isn't it?
that's
And
correct.
then we've got the hours is limited, so we've got only 24 hours a day. So even you work 24 hours a day, you wouldn't get paid more than 24 hours. But then if you think, if you're an entrepreneur, you will get paid by result. So therefore
Yeah.
you would get much more benefit, or you get paid higher. Your
Yes, I totally
mm-hmm,
agree with that one. The thing is that when you start working for an employer, you got literally from 9 till 5. So the 9 till 5, you literally help somebody else to achieve their goals. When you start something for yourself, you spend more hours, but your reward or your results are more. So you will, let's say that it takes you maybe a year to set up a company, but the return will be much more than when you work for an employer for a whole year. Because if you
mm-hmm,
start working for a company, for example, from 9 till 5, you are different. Your productivity is different. So you're gonna train yourself from 9 to 5, let's say a couple of months, and then afterwards you're gonna get your you got yourself up and running.
mm-hmm,
With a business, you can literally schedule your thing yourself, so that you can say like, okay, I'm going to spend my hours from Monday till Friday. Let's say going to work 60, 70, 70 hours, let's say 60 hours.
mm-hmm.
But in the end of the year, you got more results. So it's what Napoleon Hill tried to explain is the choice is up to you. If you want to be more productive
Mm-hmm.
in, let's say, in the same time, that's fine. But then you have to make the choice or working for an employer or start your own company. And yes, you will, let's say, spend more hours in the beginning, but your results
Mm-hmm.
and your returns are much and much better.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, of course. So how do you approach to your clients? How what's your method to work with them? I know I understand everyone's different, but what's your generic approach?
Well, let's say, first of all, you need to know if you can work with that person, and of course, the opposite as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have people who wants to make a change in their life, and you have
Mm-hmm.
clients who wants to have change in their life, but only for a specific period. So for me, it's important that a person who wants to be coached or mentored, that they are able to work with me. So if I give them instructions or I guide them in different, let's say, a different method, that they will go with me. This can be done in, like, let's say I always take a day. So let's say let's say a client give me a call, said like, Ernold, I want to change my life. I said, okay, that's fine. Let's have a day. And sometimes we go with dinner. So we're just gonna have a dinner, get ourselves a little bit familiar, and then afterward, when they decide to, okay, I want to go ahead with you, that's fine. We're just gonna set up a plan. But we have sometimes situation that you can say like, okay, sorry, but I think we just not, at the same level, or same, let's say, same.
Vibe.
Yeah, exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
then, well, fine. And it's not like that we just said like, okay, we're just gonna wait from here. We're just gonna say bye bye, or we just say
Mm-hmm.
goodbye. But sometimes clients are coming back to me and said like, oh, sorry, Arnold, but we have tried different coaches or different methods, didn't work. Back to you again. let's start. So the approach is more not like a 30 minutes, not an hour. I take a day with my clients, or let's say my first clients, to know them better and to get a sort of relationship.
Right. So what do you do different than other coaches?
That's and how I say it, a question. Um, let's say all coaches are doing this. Let's say they have different methods. There is no good, there is no bad.
Exactly.
The most important thing is that the coach can help the client to get their results. So if I'm different, that's because I use my method. If somebody else is different, as long as it works for the client, that's the most important thing. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to be the best or going to do different. Absolutely no. No, it's up to what the client, if it clicks with the client, that's the most important thing.
Could you give us an example, like what's the best way you've helped someone, I don't know, like someone who was in a 9 to 5 employment and you did some coach and work with him or her, and then now that person's a successful entrepreneur or something like, have you got that type of examples? Like how could people
Okay.
work on them and then
Okay.
progress?
So I can give you an example of a client that I've helped. They started with everybody started with a 9 to 5 job, and he was a software developer because I'm in the IT,
Yeah.
so I got a little bit familiar on the market.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to start to literally, he developed the software, but he said like, I just want to sell it. I just want to be, start my own limited, but I don't know how. And this was a situation that was for him a little bit difficult because he's an IT guy, so no business experience whatsoever. And the thing is that for me, it's important. Okay, let's sit together, and again, then half a day or more, almost a day, we just talk about his software, what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve, and his software was quite interesting. And I said to him, okay, we're gonna have a special, let's say, a method that we're gonna use to grow your business. And of course, we just have to change a little of mindset. So because he was still a 9 to 5 mindset, means wake up every morning, got his breakfast, and then afterwards go to work, and then going back. So I said, this is going to change. You're going to wake up, you're going to go to your office, and you're going to work as hard as you can because you need your software, you need quality, you need to get clients, you need to get networking, etc., etc. So let's say after a year, I think this year, 2019, he sold already a couple of his software packages
All
because,
right.
and yes, he stopped working for his employer. He actually handed it a notice in three or 4 months ago, and I even coached him of, let's say, teach them how to, if you stop working for an employer, and that's one thing that people needs to understand. When you stop working for an employer, always be sure that you're financially covered, because if you have bills to pay or you had a lot of debts, that can have impacts on your mindset. So if you are able to cover it, even if you're going to start working part-time, that's all fine, because then you can grow your business with a healthy mind. And this is what he did. So he was financially fine. He afterwards decided to stop working for his employer and focus on his business. And I'm glad to say that he just literally sold a couple of software packages let's say December and next year, of this year. And he's still growing and growing and growing. And sometimes he even teaches people how to program. So he got some workshops, because that's what I told him as well. It's like, please share knowledge. So if you could just share knowledge, because that will have a little of income as well, but you're helping other people. And this will make your niche, your software niche, much bigger, because you teach and you sell software. So I'm happy to say that he's growing. So will be not good if it's not, but
Right.
yes.
So he's really progressed, didn't he?
He did, absolutely, and
Yeah.
I'm really happy that he is. Well, let's say that we work together. I'm not saying that he needs to listen to me, but that we work together. And
Mm-hmm.
he needed the guidelines. He needed the mental mindset to actually go ahead with his business. And yeah, there were some periods that he literally gave me a call and said, Arnold, I'm just going to stop because I, I I can't do it. I'm stuck. I'm working on my software, but there's no much interest. So I went to him, took him in my car, went to network events, and said like, okay, from here you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell everybody that you are building software, and I'm
Right.
gonna stay next to you. You're gonna talk to them, and I can even prepare a sort of, let's say, a selling pitch for you. But from
Mm-hmm.
here, you're gonna start. Everybody needs to know at the end of the day that you are selling software, and it rolled out fantastic.
Yeah. It seems like everyone needs a little push or encouragement, usually most of the time. Is that right?
Yes, yes,
Not now
absolutely.
and then, because I used to think it's now and then you probably need that. But I would say like most of time people need it. Very little encouragement or bit
Well,
push.
the thing is that when you go to school, you learn to write and you learn to do some
Mm-hmm.
calculation of, let's say, do some math. Okay, those tools help you progress a little bit forward. But if you're going to start, let's say, a company, or you want to start, let's say, you're going to start a new job, those basic tools are fine. But the thing is that if you don't have the right, let's say, guidance, you stop. The reason why
Mm-hmm.
people get frustrated and stressed is not because that's that person. No, it's because they haven't got the knowledge. So if you just give them a push or just give them the right knowledge, and you get confident with that knowledge, you're able to progress and to actually go forward. So learning is really important in every whatever you're going to do. So even if you don't know, don't get frustrated. It's important that people are keep learning, keep learning, keep
Mm-hmm.
learning. And yes, we all need a push, but if you keep learning, you will, even without a push, you will go forward. But somebody has to tell it. Somebody has to tell you, like,
Yeah.
okay, just read this book. Same as what I
Uh-huh.
had in the past. Yes.
That's very good advice. Because you said you're a personal coach and a mindset strategist. What else do you do?
Right. If you talk about hobby wise, if you buy about
Just
work,
generally, do you speak at different events or do you go to organize other things or are you still developing software? So not hobby-wise, just generic,
just
your
professional.
career-wise, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
professionally, exactly.
Yeah. Career wise, I've set up, well, I'm at the moment a silent investor because before I was CEO of three different e-commerce websites. We were
Mm-hmm.
selling software, so gaming software. So I'm still in the gaming industry. So what we do is we create basic software packages, and people can just download them and they can afterwards launch their game whatsoever. So help a little bit through. And at the
Mm-hmm.
moment, I've decided end of 2018. Sorry, I'm just still with 17 and 18. But in 2018, end of the month, I've decided to instead of CEO to become an silent investor. So I've
Mm-hmm.
what do they call it? Sort of like P45, but then as CEO.
Mm-hmm.
So and 2019, I got what I want to do is to spread the word. So literally help other entrepreneurs or other people to grow, not only growing in business but even grow in personal life. And yeah, I think the experience I've built for the last, let's say, 12, 13 years, I think that's valuable knowledge that I want to share with others. When I was, let's say, in the period I was struggling, there was not a lot of people who were able to help me. So I've paid my help, if you understand what I mean with that. And yeah, I think that 2019 I'm gonna speak more. So on the 7th of February, I'm gonna speak at the Elite Network in Manchester, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to speak on more events. And yes, there are a couple of webinars, of sorry, workshops that I'm gonna organize for people who wants to progress in their life. So let's say change their mindset to have a better life.
All right. Okay. So you might be even coming to Newcastle or different Elite Network events then. There
Absolutely,
might be possibility, yeah. We
yes.
might see you in person.
Yes, it's going to be Arnold on tour. I put it already on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. I've been already to Sheffield,
Mm-hmm.
and my plan is to visit. So this coming February, I plan to go or to Chelmsford in the south, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
going to Newcastle. So I'm still looking which area I'm just going to go to, or at least that's the place I have to go to as well. So I'm
Uh-huh.
still a little bit planning, but yes, I will definitely. I will see you in person in Newcastle. That's absolutely planned.
Oh, okay, that's excellent to know. I was just wondering, that people do coaching in person, and some of them do online, don't they?
Yes,
Using having a Zoom calls or
the online
some
coaching.
like meeting rooms, yeah. So do you coach people all over the world, and or do you just have your office in Manchester, or how does it work?
Yes, so yes, I have an office in Manchester, in the
Mm-hmm.
town centre of Manchester, and what I well, I use Zoom as well to coach
Mm-hmm.
people from around the world. But the thing is we coach now online, but I travel as well. So when I'm gonna travel, let's say I got a customer in Singapore, I got a customer in Indonesia, or sorry, client in the United States. These are already planned to see this year. So yes, I see them online, and I think that online coaching works fine, but sometimes clients want to see you face to face as well. And I think a
Okay.
face to face, and of course it depends because, like for example, Indonesia or let's say Singapore or America, it's not something that you're going to say like, oh, let's jump in the plane and go to them because well they have schedules as well and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
but online, the online coaching, yes, I do over Zoom, but in the end of the day, I visit my clients as well, and I got at the moment six clients, like clients who literally, well, I coach already for years, and I see them every year in their country. So I travel to Dubai a couple of times, I travel to Indonesia a couple of times, go to America a couple of times, just to see them face to face with a meal, and
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about their results and talk about what they want to achieve more and etc. So online, yes, and in person.
Yes, as well. Okay. So I remember you mentioned you speak five, six languages.
I
So
do.
would you do coaching in five, six different languages?
Sorry, what?
Would you do
Groeten?
coaching in different
Oh,
languages as well?
well, I coach already in Dutch, in Netherlands, because
Uh-huh.
I'm from the Netherlands originally,
All right.
and
Uh-huh.
German, because, well, I've lived in Germany, and what else? Spain, so Spanish, I can speak Spanish as well, and French. So I coach in different languages, but the most spoken languages I use for coaching at the moment is English, German, and Dutch.
All right. Oh, that's fantastic. So you were just like a multidisciplined and a different languages and a different areas of coaching. And it would be really interesting to know you as a person as well. And I got a few questions. So
Yeah, of
what's your
course.
favorite book?
My favorite book is uh, just bear with me. Oh, because I got a couple, but at the most what inspires me is Napoleon Hill, and why is because Napoleon Hill got different versions of books, and then I have to look. I got the Golden Rule, Think and Grow Rich,
Mm-hmm.
Success, Mental, Positive Attitude. These books
All
are
right.
really, yeah, I advise everybody to read them because the books from Napoleon Hill are the basics of all the things that are going around now. So, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Dad from Kawasaki is based, well, it's his situation, but there are
Mm-hmm.
some situations from Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill was literally the first person who literally started the coaching industry. So when he when he was an apprentice with Ford and an apprentice with different other entrepreneurs, he has seen things that and then eventually he got a book, and these are literally the basic. But the thing is, Napoleon Hill wrote his book in the 1900s, let's say 1900s, beginning of 1920. So
Mm-hmm.
we as 80s or 90s or let's say 70s, if you read that
Yeah.
book, it's quite hard to understand because it's the
Mm-hmm.
wording are totally different. And then when you literally have somebody, so I got trained by Bob Proctor, who was
Mm-hmm.
able to explain me that this is what Napoleon tries to explain, and this is what Napoleon tried to explain. Is because he studied the book for over 50 years, so he knows what he's talking about. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
I still read it every day till the day of today. The book, I think I've read the book. Let's say Mental and Positive Attitude. I've read that book maybe 6 times. So it's definitely something, and it's a special edition as well. It's because everybody knows the Grow Rich. Everybody knows that
Mm-hmm.
book, but
Yes.
Napoleon Hill with a mental and positive attitude. That book, I recommend everybody to read that because that's going to bring you on the next level. Because Grow Rich is everybody knows that a little bit now, but
Yeah.
if you go for the other books that Napoleon Hill has written, please. And I know there are more books. There are books from
Yeah.
different famous coaches, but they have started all with Napoleon Hill. So Napoleon Hill is the source. That's it.
Exactly. Okay. Got another question. What question can you ask to find out the most about the person?
Oh,
Because you are a life coach and you ask questions, and if you want to find out, okay, not even a professional level, if there was someone you want to find out a bit more about, what would be the question? And there will be just one. Not what's your name?
what's your goal in life?
What's your goal?
Yeah. So what's your
What's your
goal in
value?
life? Yeah. So what's your goal in life?
Mm-hmm.
And people can go on hours explaining what they want. So yes, a really good open question.
Oh, yes. What's your goal?
So
And
it's
people should open up.
yes. Well,
Actually, I
if you
want, and then just continue talking, talking,
exactly.
talking.
If you ask them like, what's your goal in life, what you're trying to achieve, you actually open instead of one door, you open 5 different doors, and the person
Mm-hmm.
keeps talking. So yeah, that's my question. Well, people ask me the same question, so I ask them the question, and I can keep talking and talking. But if you ask the question to somebody else, yeah, you can. And that's why I always take a whole day of dinner because then they keep talking and talking, so I could have a little idea what they would like to achieve.
Okay. Then, Arnold, what's your
Yes.
goal? Give me an answer within 3 minutes, please. I don't have all day.
My goal is to
Yes.
help everybody to get their results and help them out and try to help them to see what they want to if they want to achieve something, that they don't get stuck with questions. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? I just want to have that the whole, well, I can't say the whole world. Let's say that we start with the UK, that we just help people with, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. So at the end of the day, I want to help people to get their results.
Mm-hmm. Results.
Results. We all live in results. We have a
Exactly.
question. We have an answer. That's how we human beings are. If we don't have an answer, if we ask the questions and don't have an answer, we stuck. It's like math. If you don't know what one
Mm-hmm.
and one is, and you don't know it's two, you're gonna think the whole day. What will be the outcome?
Yes. And based on that, what is something you will never do again?
What will never do again? Wow, that's in question. What will I never do again? I will say. I've done bungee jumping. I will do that never again.
Bungee
No,
jumping.
I've done it when I was just 18, and you're then allowed to
Uh-huh.
do the bungee jumping. And I know that people say like, "Oh, you want to get rid of your fear? Yeah, just do a jump." Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
young and stupid, what I always say. So I got prepared, and I thought like, I can do it, I can do it. So before I was able to count till 10, they pushed me down, and I said like, okay, that's a nice experience, but never again.
So what was it
So
like?
it's I'm not gonna ask people about how to jump off. It's the same feeling of jumping off a bridge, but it is literally when you stay there and you just literally jump. It never ends. It literally you just keep falling and keep falling, and afterwards it's like that somebody get your legs and pull you up, and
Uh-huh.
it's a really strange feeling. I will say like if you've never done it, do it and then tell me how it felt. Well, for me, it was a good feeling, but I will say I will never do it again.
As a life coach, because one of your goals is like um goal is to push people's limit a bit
Yes.
and stretch them, get them out of their comfort zone.
Well, you have
Why
people.
don't you jump again?
Well, you have people they are afraid of spiders, and you have people they are afraid of snakes, and you have people they don't want to bungee jump, like for example, well, me, and of course,
Uh-huh.
you have to as a coach, you sometimes try to push them a little bit further. Like, okay, you have
Mm-hmm.
to do it. But the thing is that I'm not gonna let them things do what I don't want to do. For example, if I said like, okay, I just don't want to bungee jump, I'm not gonna ask them to bungee jump. There are loads of other things that people can do. It's not just only that specific thing. So I will say if they want to extend the limitation, let's say they want to do something else, well, you can do a fire walk.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that a couple of times, still love it, still want to do it.
But that's your
Um,
comfort zone.
yeah,
Because if you
exactly.
love it, if you're doing it, just like you
No,
don't need,
no,
oh, okay, you
it's
do
my
it again and again. It's kind of becoming your hobby,
well, the
isn't
thing is
it?
that if you want to, it's the same as with your life experience. So you can you can tell, well, let's say you are in your comfort zone, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not bad to get out to stay in your comfort zone. Sometimes if you go out your comfort zone, it's because you want to learn something new, so you're going to have new experience, etc., etc. But the thing is that if you have experience in life, let's say the firewalk, I've done it a couple of times, but I can share at least the experience with others. Same as with the bungee jumping. And if they're going to
Mm-hmm.
ask me, do you like it or whatsoever, I can confirm to them. So it's not bad sometimes to stay in your comfort zone. And of course, if you and I said and I said if you want to grow your mindset whatsoever and a growth mindset, then yes, you're going to go out your comfort zone, but that comfort zone, when you, let's say when you're out of your comfort zone, that becomes your comfort zone as well, so you're actually expanding your comfort zone. So
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah,
interesting. But
and then it becomes a hobby. Well, it's not my hobby to walk to do the fire walk, but I like it.
yeah, you like it. No, okay, that's very good. And as a life coach, and because probably you network a lot, you've met lots of different people. Yes.
Yes.
And who was your most interesting person? Who was the most interesting person you met,
Well,
and
I've
why? Mm-hmm.
yes. Well, I've met quite a lot of, let's say, because I went to the United States, so I've come across Katy Perry. I've come across to the Hilton family,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say, like when you do some networking, I have to say, like when I started my first networking, if you know the right people, then they bring you to the night network events. And when I was in the United States, I've met a couple of, let's say, quite wealthy people, and they asked me to, do you want to join? Do you want to come over? And then because of the how more people you know, sometimes they mention the frame like it's not what you know, but it's who you know. um, yeah, and let's say the rest of the world, it's really important that you know the right people to grow your network. And yes, when I went to different networks, for example, in America and on, let's say, Hollywood Boulevard or Hollywood, or even if I went to India, to Mumbai, to see some Bollywood celebrities, it's because of I know the right network. It's I have to say, like Katy Perry and Paris Hilton were for me the most important bit. Well, that was the first time I was like, I was quiet and shake the hands, and yeah, I was so like, whoa. I had a conversation, had even a drink, but
Mm-hmm.
yes, that was for me because well, there's a lot of rumors going around and whatsoever. But I just met them, like Katy Perry, who just broke up with Russell Brand at that time, and she was there. She was really,
Did
I
you
say
ask
it.
any help?
No, no, no. The thing is that when you go to a network, you have if it's like a really if it's like a business network, and that's something I have to say as well. When you go to a business network, you have business network where you know people, but you have a business network where people literally throw business cards to you. I stay away from those networks because in the end of the day, we are there to know each other and not to be a passive or active seller try to sell you a product. So when I was there, that was more to know people, know each other, and of course, if you know the right people, you can ask them always a favor, but you don't always have to sell them a product or a service. And that is what you see in quite a lot of networking. When you go there,
Mm-hmm.
they'll actually say, "Hi, my name is John. This is my card. Yeah, if you need me, give me a call." And it's like, "Oh, hello, John. I'm Ernold, and I don't know you." So when you go to like networks where you actually mean, let's say, meet like-minded people, for example, the Elite Network, for example, you're not there to sell products. You're there to meet like-minded people. Something I like, something I will always visit those network events. So when you see me on an event or something on a business event, that is pure because they don't throw business cards to you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But then I've just remembered um, the software guy that you were coaching, and because I always think networking events are great
Yes,
because
they are.
you meet people, and you also can not really sell yourself. Yeah,
No,
actually sell yourself. Sell yourself. You just let the other people know that what you're doing and
uh,
offer what you can do for them.
absolutely. So if we come back to my software guy who actually went to the network and I told them about
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, everybody needs to
Mm-hmm.
know that you are that you are in the software
Yeah,
industry.
because that's what I was thinking.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
it's the thing is that you never that person was there to learn. However,
mm-hmm.
I told them, okay, everybody needs to know that you are selling software or that you are in the software industry. So
Mm-hmm.
he was not selling his stuff and giving business cards away. He was
Mm-hmm.
talking with people. He was, let's say, looking for people who are interested in him, not only his products, and
Right.
to help him forward instead of just selling a product and then never hear from that customer again. So he was
Mm-hmm.
building up relations, not selling, but building relations, and that's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's important thing we have to do on a business network.
Okay. In your opinion, what's the best way to build an effective relationship in a business?
I will say talk with people, not only about business. It's the same as when you go to school. When you new in a classroom, you're just gonna make friends. You're just gonna you're just gonna have a chat, share some knowledge, but never try to sell your products. And if you want to sell your products, that's absolutely fine. But there are enough other people who are maybe interested in your products who maybe will help you to sell. So I will say calibrate with others, building friends, building friends. That's the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing to do. Do not try selling because believe me, and you maybe know as well if you go to network events, oh, you come back with this big of business cards. And believe me, if you check all those business cards, you see names, but you don't know who they are. Just like, who was that guy again? Oh yeah, okay, just put it aside. So I'll say, yeah, go and meet, talk, eat, and get it. I say be more. I say you instead of trying to sell something.
Okay. When is the selling comes?
The selling comes with, let's say, if you got a product that you want to sell to, I don't know, and just a person, I will say, is there anybody who can help me? Because you have built already a network. For example, you got different people who maybe, let's say I'm just going to talk about the software industry. Let's say you want to sell software to an accountancy. Let's say Deloitte is a big one. Well, the thing is that there's always people who are able to help you to to go forward with selling your software. But the thing is that if you're gonna try to sell your products, you're gonna be straight to that person. And of course, you need to still build a relationship with the person who you're gonna sell the software to, but that's on a business level. So if you go to a networking event or a business network event, that's on like, who are you dealing with? Because selling, of course, it's all about trust. So you can sell your product because you sell your product, people trust you, they're gonna buy from you, that's all fine. But when you're gonna, let's say, need to find a customer, you have to be honest. You're not gonna say to the person who want to sell to, so yeah, I want to be your friend, but do you want to buy my software as well? No, you try to sell your products because somebody refers you. So I'm not going to make any. I'm not sponsored, but for example, BNI is literally when you meet people, all the people on that table, you have to see it as the knights on the round table. If you want to sell a product, you need a referral, and it's because all built on trust. So if you want to sell your product, you can sell it to the first person you're going to meet. Absolutely fine. But the thing is that, will that customer ever come back? Because you haven't built a relationship.
Okay, so building a relationship is the most important thing, and then everything will follow it.
Yes.
That's what you're saying, yeah?
Yes, relationship. Yeah. It's all about knowing the right people, and what I said. Okay, sometimes, we all need to pay bills indirectly, but in the end of the day, if you build up trust, if people want to help you going forward, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, I think it's nearly end of our interview.
Oh, I need more questions.
Yeah, it's been absolute pleasure to speak to you and find out more about you as well.
No worries. Well, thank you for having me. I'm really.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully, no, I'm gonna see you in Newcastle. There's no hopefully.
When?
Take that away. This month, another one next month.
This
Oh,
month
sorry.
is
I mean February or March.
February or March. Okay.
Yes.
Great. So in person then.
You will see me in person, and the rest who follow me on Facebook as well.
Yes, exactly. Okie doke. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
You too. Have a lovely Sunday, or what's left.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.